guys, Sean C. Phillips here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the best and worst horror movies of 2011. Everybody liked the one I just did on the best films of 2011, just in general. So if you haven't seen that, check that video out under the link under this video for that. But this one's basically me talking about the best movies that came out to theaters that were horror, the best direct-to-DVD movies, basically anything that came out in 2011 that I got or saw or things like that. The first movie on the list is Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and that was a really cool one. That was basically, I think that was shot in 2009, but didn't come out to 2011. But it's basically about these two guys that ended up getting a summer home that they wanted to fix up. They were calling it their vacation home, and basically a group of kids are out there, and it's a bunch of miscommunications. And basically the kids think that the two guys are the killers, and they basically killed their one friend because they saw her, she fell in the water, and then they helped her. And they're like, oh, we got your friend, and all the kids are freaking out. And it's basically the kids are dying by their own means because they're convinced that these two, who are actually nice guys, ended up killing their friends. And this movie was on a lot of people's best list. It was really well done. The next one, and I talked about this in the last video, was The Human Centipede 2. And like I said, it's a very gross movie, but it's shot so well. It's very creepy. The main guy that they got as the killer, the guy who was putting together the centipede, is so creepy. I don't know what else he's done before, but him and the Doctor. I would love to see the Doctor at conventions. The Doctor is just as creepy and weird. The next one I put on the list is Attack the Block. It's a group of these street gang kids that end up having to save the block where they live from these aliens, and Nick Frost is in it, and it's a really cool British film. The next one is a indie film that I really like called Grave Encounters, and it's about a group of, basically about like a show like Ghost Hunters and all those kind of things, Paranormal State and things like that, but it's basically done as a found footage movie, and it's about a group of these people going to investigate. They're basically shooting the pilot episodes for the series, and they're going to this old mental asylum. And when they get there, they basically all don't believe. They basically are staging events. People in it who are supposed to be the experts are like actors and all these kind of things. But when they end up getting into this place, real things start to happen. And it's very creepy. Out of some of the movies lately, I thought there was a lot of really creepy elements to it. The next one was Lucky McGee's new film, The Woman, which is technically a follow-up to The Offspring, which came out a few years ago from, I think it was wasn't the After Dark Horror Fest, it was one of the other ones, the Sam Raimi's one. I forget what that was called, Ghost House Underground. And, that was a pretty cool one. I liked it a lot more than The Offspring. And it's about basically a woman who's living out in the woods, she's basically almost like a cave person, in the caveman, things like that. And this guy who's like a family man ends up out there hunting and sees her, and he basically ends up taking her and chaining her up in his basement. And he has this idea of trying to convert the woman and make her, civilized and be able to be in the real world and all this stuff. But his reasonings is because he's a deviant and he's sick and twisted, and there's all kinds of crazy things, and there's a lot of things about making it where it's showing how he's supposed to be, as he says, helping her when he's the one who needs help, and he's getting his family involved in it, and the son is weird. It's Angela Bates from the movie May, who Lucky McGee also did, which is a great movie. This is definitely one to check out. I got the Blu-ray of it a while ago from England, imported it, but it's coming out officially in America, I think in like 2 months. That's definitely one to get. The next one for top movies is Hobo with a Shotgun, and I talked about that some of the other one, but it's basically Rutger Hauer playing a homeless man who comes into this town where everything is corrupt, and there's this group of these bad people, and he's basically becoming a vigilante and killing off all the bad people in the town. The next one is Insidious, which is a James Wan film, and it's Patrick Wilson and Lynn Shaye, and Lynn Shaye did amazing in the movie. And it's basically about a kid that has this like ghost in the house, and basically it's got vibes of Poltergeist and all these kind of things. And you're never going to think of Tiny Tim the same when with this movie too. but it's very, very creepy. Don't want to ruin too much about it. The next one just came out on demand, so I can count this as 2011, because it just came out on the 30th, like right before the end. And it's the new Ty West film, The Innkeepers. And I really liked Ty West movies. I liked The House of the Devil. I liked Cabin Fever 2. I would love to have seen what his original cut of the movie was. And he's got a sense of humor, too. He puts the guy from American Movie, who I love, the main character in American Movie, as a real funny side character, as Giuseppe Andrews' friend. I don't know, I like his casting choices. I like what he does. I like that, he shoots these movies to look real 80s, and not just look, they really feel like, an 80s film. And The Innkeepers is Sarah Paxton, who I think is her best movie. And, sorry if I'm like stuffed up. I've been like sick from allergies, and it's been like 80s today, so it's like all over the place. So I'm all stuffed up. But in The Innkeepers, it's about like a old hotel, and the hotel is about to close down. It's been around since the 1860s, something like that. And basically they're trying to, Sarah Paxton and the other employee that works with her, who's her friend there, trying to find ghost activity in there. And, weird guests start coming in, and things go really strange. And it's another really creepy one. Now here's the list of movies that are worth seeing. They're not I wouldn't say they're the best, but I would say that they are really good. And, definitely worth checking out, and ones that I really liked. So they're very close to the best. They're just kind of like, not exactly the best. It's kind of weird. I tried to separate them because I couldn't put them all in the same list. The first one was Paranormal Activity 3, and I thought that was pretty good. I thought the aspect of having it with the kids made it a little creepier, and there was more stuff they could do with it. I thought making it a prequel really worked. Some people really disliked the ending. I thought the ending, I don't know, I thought it kind of worked. Wrong Turn 4, which surprisingly, I didn't care too much for Wrong Turn 3. Wrong Turn 4, though, I thought was pretty good. It was another one with the same character. It was a prequel. The same characters from the first movie and all the other ones, the inbreds and stuff, in this nut house living there. A bunch of kids are out going skiing and stuff, end up getting lost and then finding this place. And they stay overnight in the asylum. And they all start getting killed off one by one. And there were some very creative deaths in the movie. Definitely one, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And for direct-to-DVD and part 4 of a movie, it was good. The next one that I thought was good was Apollo 18. And, a lot of people disliked it, but I thought it was interesting. It's not one that you could watch too many times, but it's basically supposed to be like found footage of a space flight that never was seen because all these terrible things happened out there. The next one was Fright Night 3D, and I thought that was a pretty good remake. I thought, Colin Farrell did good. Farrell did good. I thought the main kid did good. I thought everybody was good in it. Next one was Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, and I always like Guy Pearce films. Let's see, Red State for Kevin Smith, and I don't know, I really like that one. Sorry, I'm real stuffed up. Next one was Scream 4, Wes Craven's. A lot of people put that on the top of the list. I didn't think it was the best, but I think out of the sequels, I like that one. I don't know, probably the second best. I don't know. I liked Part 2. Part 3 wasn't very good. Part 4, though, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. Final Destination 5 for 3D. 3D was really well done. I thought the actors in this one were the best out of some of the sequels. And the one thing, though, I'm going to talk more about this in the DVD update, but I wish they would have put that viral video they made on the disc. The next one is John Carpenter's The Ward. And, it wasn't amazing. It's worth watching. And, John Carpenter really doesn't do many movies, so I really watch anything that he does. It was Amber Heard, and she was in a nut house, and they were all seeing this ghost woman, and I don't know, it wasn't bad. The next one that I was really surprised with was Quarantine 2. I didn't see Wreck 2, so I don't know if it was the same idea, but it was basically all in a terminal of a, airport. And it was, the same sickness from the first movie, and, people were passing around the sickness and going crazy in the terminal. And it was an interesting idea. I liked having a setting like that. You know, I liked it a lot more than I thought. The next one, which was interesting, that I watched, because I just went through like the DVD updates too and looked at ones that I liked. Stag Night, which was Breckenmeyer was in it, and it was like a bunch of people that I think they broke down in a old terminal, and there was something like a killer in there. I can't remember all the details, but I remember liking it. The next one that was worth watching was Dream House. Wasn't great. I heard about there was like the studio made a lot of cuts to it, or it went through a lot of changes. So I would have been interested in seeing what it originally was like, because I know the version that came out was changed around a lot. Now here's some of the ones that I really disliked. Oh no, first the best worst movie. There was only one, and that was Hellraiser Revelations. And you know, it was one of those ones like Troll 2 that was so bad it was good. It was just so, some of the acting was so ridiculous. Just some of the stuff that was going on. It almost felt like a student filmmaker decided to make a Hellraiser movie. It just felt so cheap compared to what the other Hellraisers were. And I don't even know what the budget was on it, but it was just kind of weird seeing Hellraiser become like that, and just so silly. And like the makeup, everybody was like acting, I don't know. But for the worst ones that I really disliked was, I disliked those George Romero Dead Time stories. They were really pretty weak. It was an anthology thing. Yellow Brick Road, which I really wanted to like. You know, it started off okay, but it was like a bunch of these people trying to follow down this old path where they, you know, apparently all these people from the town walked in this road and died, and the movie was very confusing. Didn't make sense how they, if the town walked off, how they all knew they died down there. And it was basically this group of these people trying to go down this Yellow Brick Road and see what happens. And they go down it, and they just start hearing all these weird noises and old 30s music, and I don't know. It was really a bad one. The next one was The Rite, and I talked about this in the last one with Anthony Hopkins as his priest, and it was just bad. The next one was Creature, which I really disliked. I talked about this a lot in the other one. The Thing remake, I didn't care for. Scar 3D was one that I couldn't even get through. Inheritance was a really bad one. Now, Shark Night 3D, I really wanted to like it, but, you know, they didn't even release it on 3D on Blu-ray. But it was really, I don't know, it was just really poor. And I think if they would have made it R-rated and really gone for it, it would have been a lot better. But trying to make something like that PG-13 just didn't work. And the other one, the last one, was Red Riding Hood, which was, I think, a lot of people really disliked that one. And that was one of those movies where everybody just sort of seemed like they could have cared less doing it. But anyway, though, that's the list of the best and worst horror movies of 2011. Thanks a lot for watching and for subscribing, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.